totally different man.
What's
We're
that?
live.
We are live. What'd you say?
I said he looks like a totally different guy now.
He looks like a totally different
Yeah.
guy now than when?
Who does?
You,
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know why. You look like the same old Mark to
No, he
me,
doesn't.
just 30 years older. All right, hello YouTube, everybody out there. We are going live tonight to update you a little bit on our travels. We got 5 grandkids around here in what's the place? Ruby's Inn
In Bryce Canyon. Utah.
Ruby's Inn and RV Park in Bryce Canyon, Utah. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Just a little bit after 7 p.m. here. What, 78 degrees, 80 degrees?
Yeah.
Low humidity, a nice mountain breeze. And this RV park is fantastic. So we did not go to Zion National Park this morning like we had planned because, again, a lot of it's closed. And also there are some restrictions on size right now that aren't normally in place of vehicles. So we just didn't mess with that with the grandkids basically loving the pools as much as they are anything that we've seen already. So we just came over here to Bryce Canyon and spent half the day in the pool. And then we were going to do a horseback ride thing tomorrow.
Yep.
But they don't allow 3-year-olds. So we switched it up and we're doing something even more fun, ATV tour. So that should be a lot of fun.
You got to learn to put the 3-year-old in a saddlebag and just move on with it. I mean,
I know. They wouldn't let me do it. I offered.
So if it was me and you, where we were staying the last couple nights, over there in Mount Carmel Junction,
Uh-huh.
there is a pink coral sand dunes there.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of ATVs that were going around there. That would be really cool to go
oh
to.
yeah, those will blow away. Yeah, put those in there because sorry,
You
I
know,
left my sewer tube caps were laying on the ground and they're gonna blow away if I don't pick them up. She found them, so
is it starting to get?
at my back.
And so let's introduce this guest that we have. This is Mark and Tina.
Hey guys,
We've had them with us on a couple other lives. If you've joined any of our previous lives, you would have seen that
Brandon,
they
what are you doing?
basically decided to
This door.
move west. Well, actually, Mark joined my company, Calibra, and he is coming out to support the Western region. So he joined about 6 months ago now, Mark?
Yeah.
About 6 months ago, and was planning on moving a little faster, but with all this craziness that's going on right now, it kind of put them a little ways back. And then they decided to just go ahead and hit it in an RV. So they've packed everything up, bought their RV. And I think the last time we talked to you guys, it was like the week before you went down and picked up your RV.
Yeah.
So you want to update us on what you got and what that experience was like?
Yeah, the experience was exhausting. First off, but Lazy Days in Tampa, Florida they were pretty good, to be honest with you. And we ended up getting a 2020 Grand Design 381M, which is a 43-foot toy hauler with a 15-foot garage in it. So it works out great for us. It's got plenty of room for the lizard, the guinea pigs, the dogs, the kids. It's crazy, but it's fantastic. So we're having a blast. The first 2 days, I was ready to turn around and go home and sell the whole thing. Done.
Why is that? Just nerve-wracking
The
driving?
amount of work. No, I can care less. I've driven trailers all my life, but the amount of work but we've got it down pretty good now. We got it down where we can pull into a place and we're at the winery drinking wine in 20 minutes. I mean, we're set up and done. So it's like boom, 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 and it takes a team, but yeah, we're having a blast doing it now that we've got it kind of dialed in, and it changes every time. I mean, you start to get to where this has to happen before this happens. Because at first I've caught myself pardon me, I didn't mean to say that word.
Moderators, beauty.
Yeah.
Part of me, the first time that we stopped, I think it took me 2 hours. I was exhausted. I put the trailer in the truck like 4 times for each task to do because I just didn't have a plan. And so, yeah, interesting. But now we're good to go.
We got our first travel trailer. It didn't have any slides, and we had kind of the weight distribution and sway that came with it,
Yeah.
which wasn't really difficult. It wasn't that difficult to hook up. There was just the chain part that was a little bit eerie, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And then when we upgraded to our second travel trailer, we had multiple slides. It was a much heavier unit, so we had a more rugged. You're right, Amelia. Mark and Don would get along. So, Mark, we met Don and Amelia. I'm not sure if you've seen Don in any of our videos, but he's pretty blunt too. So we've got to edit our videos when Don's in them as well. So hopefully we get you guys out to meet them at some point. But anyway, it was a lot more work, but we have got it down with each one of kind of a system where Chris does the insides and I take care of the outsides.
Yeah.
Electric, all that type of stuff. And then when we upgraded to the Class A, I would say for me, especially the outside work, you don't have all the hitch and stuff to hook up. I mean, the Jeep disconnecting it is, I think, and you don't even have to do that a lot of times when you pull in. If we're just staying the night, we just leave the Jeep hooked up. But the Class A is a lot easier, but we've got it down to a science, and we still go. We don't rush. Our philosophy has always been slow and steady because we don't want to make any mistakes getting in a rush. So, it's been pretty good.
Photo bomber.
Yeah.
He took off when I waved.
Yeah.
No, I do have to tell you a story though, and I've been reluctant to admit it, but the first night we got to a little camp, we only drove about 160 miles the first day into Tennessee, and really beautiful campground right on the river. It was gorgeous. We tubed the river. I think you saw some of the pictures that Tina posted on Facebook. Fantastic. But I went to hook up everything, and I got the sewer lines all done. And the first time I'd done this,
Counter in the kitchen.
and I pulled the black tank, and the thing popped out of the ground, and poop water went everywhere. I'm like, I was too sick, like jumping on the hose, but you know me, I'm not gonna do that. And I got the valve shut. I had brown water everywhere. And I'm like looking around, going, "Did anybody see that? Did anybody see that?" And I've got the fresh water hose, and I'm trying to wash it away.
Water.
And, well, they said in Tennessee that one of them biscuits is mandatory, and I have what a biscuit is, a hard rubber black thing.
Yep.
Well, I set it in there, and I was like, well, this doesn't make sense, but it says that it's mandatory, so I'm going to use it. So I set it up in the biscuit, and baloney. Man, I'm having a hard time not cursing.
So I haven't done that.
Anyway, I got it all shut down. I took the biscuit off and it screwed in, because I got one of them connectors that screws into that PVC. Then it was fine. But oh shit. Literally, Poop City. Like
Fun.
Yeah,
I think a lot. You can see a lot of stories. There's a lot of videos, a lot of stories of RVers.
It's calling me from Rock Island, Illinois.
Have that moment.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about
So Don asked what's in the cup. So I think you can probably guess, Don. It's root beer moonshine with some cream soda, I think.
Cheers, Donnie boy.
What we got going on.
Sweet.
We're having Alaskan Amber.
Alaska man.
Okay, so
Be-
best IPA we've had in a long time.
Oh,
Fine, I'll take it off.
yeah.
All right,
I like
1 second, Mark. Since the name's up there, the last couple times we've had you guys on, of course, you were just getting started in the RV, full-time RV. Didn't really even know if you were going to do the whole YouTube channel or Facebook thing. Now it sounds like you guys are kind of jumping in. You've got the name now.
Sorry.
Tell us about how that came about. Mark said it was all you, Tina.
It's all you.
Well,
I wanted to be Poop Sickles and ice cream, but she said no.
We thought we've gone back and forth, and we couldn't find a name that was open and available. And as I was writing in, I'm working on my little summary right now for the page and stuff. And we were on a mission to find a cabin on land in Montana. And the more we got into this, the more we realized we have our cabin. And what we're wanting to do is a big old barn dominium where like RVs can park in our huge garage and have minimal square footage of a house, you know, like
Like a pole
1,500,
barn?
like a pole barn.
Yeah, kind of like a pole barn. Like a
Talking to Chris?
You want no.
no.
Okay.
We want to do like tons of toys, and we also want RV pads for people to come and hook up on our land in Montana or Wyoming or wherever we find a place. We are so addicted to this. We love it.
Yeah, you guys must have been telepathically either listening to us or talking to us, because I'm not going to give away much tonight, but we've got some big news, probably big announcements coming up, and Pole Barn might be a part of one of them. So that's what they're going to do, Chris.
Wait.
Our cabin on wheels. I thought Tina had
do
talked to you.
stuff while I'm away.
I
and
thought
I
Tina
come
had
back
talked
and
to
that's
you.
what they're going to do.
So our cabin on wheels is
Cabin on wheels.
basically
Because that's their cabin, and they want to build a big pole barn condominium kind of thing, where they can have pole in there, have minimal, basically living space in the house, but then have a pole barn where they can park it, and also have multiple pads so people could come there and stay. So that's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
What does
So
it have to do with us?
It doesn't really have much to do with us right now. I can't
Okay.
say much about it yet. So
Chris is like, no.
take that detailed notes. Good detailed notes, just in case.
I thought we were going to build a pole barn that the RV went in.
That's
And was like a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, we're talking about doing that too.
What is
we want to be more specific, like a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot pad, where a slab with a barn over it.
Yeah.
And then like 1,500 square feet of it could be actual living space but we want RV pads. We want for people.
That'd be cool.
And then snowmobiles, you know.
Have friends over.
Absolutely.
Lumber parties with your RV.
Good friends will have their own named pad.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'd be awesome.
Only good friends though.
To be a good friend.
We'll have to name the pads. That'd be sweet. Cause and effect, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, you'll get your own placard above it. Doesn't mean it won't be in use when you're not there, but it'll be your pad.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually, a good idea. I was thinking about this the other day. Don and Neil are friends they're actually from North Carolina, and they put in, they've got a house there, but they have some property, and they put in 3 pads, I think, and they actually created a very exclusive remote RV destination. It's an RV park, so you can go there and stay.
Hey,
and
Chris, we're live, right?
Guides and
I don't care. I'm get one of these kids.
And fishing guides and stuff like that. So
one of them. You've got 2. Come get one.
You guys are totally interrupting me.
4, but like 2 of them are older.
Hey, Chris, I don't want to hear it. Ours are full time. You get to give yours back.
That's true.
Shut up.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
I was talking.
Oh my gosh! Did I interrupt you?
You did. I was talking about Don and Nelia's RV park,
so sorry.
and I was about ready to ask Don because he owned an excavating company, and I think Don really should do the excavating and help us put in RV parks wherever you go, and where if these friends that I'm talking about, I'm asking for a friend.
You're
asking put in an RV park, maybe.
Yeah.
Where are y'all looking?
Well, we can't reveal anything yet. That's all.
We don't want to say.
I'll text you, Tina.
Yeah, we'll text you.
I'm hoping it's like down south in like Arizona.
That's where and then we can switch back and forth.
So that in the summer we can all be up in Montana. In the winter we can all go down south.
We got it planned.
It's
and
we'll
have snowmobiles. We'll have so we can go snowmobiling on West Yellowstone. Oh my gosh! Talk about you saw our Facebook stuff.
Anyway,
it's beautiful.
Our plans change all the time, so that's why we're not revealing anything yet because it's still changing.
Well, that happened with us. We were going to be part-time this summer, and
we're still part-time.
Well, you also weren't going to ever buy an RV too.
Oh yeah, not long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't. What was that? 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark won it was more than that because it was before you came to work with us.
A heated hose.
You want a heated hose.
I want a heated hose, and I told y'all to keep it and give it to somebody at a campground that needed one. And
you're not going to do this.
now I need the heated hose.
In the camper? No,
That's
you don't
funny.
need to be in the camper.
All right,
You
so
guys can play
that's
it.
how your name came about, and you're on Facebook already.
No,
I started the R.
you
It's
put yourself
R
in the there.
Cabin on Wheels.
Our cabin
Yeah,
on
that's it. And now we're going to work on the YouTube.
What wheel is it?
I started the Facebook page. I haven't invited anybody yet. I'm just in the setup phase right now, and I'm going to get him because he's an artist. I don't know if you
No.
know that. Yes,
I'm not drawing nothing.
You're gonna do the cute.
I'm not
little,
drawing nothing.
You need to.
No.
Yes.
No.
Sounds like you're doing a logo, Mark.
Looks like I'm doing the logo. Because he's gonna get it. He's gonna put his paws in.
I told you this was your deal.
Okay, that's fine. That's your deal. This is my deal. Everybody's interested though.
So far, your deal has cost me a lot of money.
That's your deal. How's my ordeal cost us? And mine's free.
Your wine.
Oh well. Your liquor. I can't hear you.
Yeah, we're on mute because Chris is having to get on the grid. They're running around and slamming into the
Yes,
RV.
I'm like.
They're like rubbing his racing and slamming into the
I
RV.
think Chris is learning to growl.
You better just wait, Mark. You wait till we meet up.
So it sounds like this is a popular thing. So you're talking about doing it. Our friends Don and Neil already did it. We're considering some things similar, maybe. Looks like Charlie Grace with Forever Best Friend is looking at doing something similar in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people doing it, so it's fun. Like you say, a lot of people that start doing it just kind of get addicted to it.
Jaden.
There you go.
There's some freedom, and and the interesting thing that we thought about was okay.
What's
3,200 square foot house is too big. After downsizing and realizing what you can actually live with, it's just too big. And so we want to downsize. We want more toys. We got a big toy. And the cabin on wheels is you're not limited. I think that's how I came about it is this is our cabin. We're not limited to where we can go on vacation.
Yeah, the freedom, I think, that's what appeals to me, is being able to go anywhere, stay as long as you want, and be wherever you want. That mixing up with being with family, but I even see it as a benefit, because if you want to go spend ample time with family, you just pull in their front yard and say, we're here for a while, right?
Yeah. And even friends are like, come stay at our house, But I think the thing is that got me was the freedom of less
They
junk.
say that until they figure out how big we are.
Well,
And then they go, well, no.
no, that won't. But I mean, even the freedom. It's like you said, everything has a place. I like that.
Yeah.
Everything's organized. I like that. And minimal. You can't carry a lot.
Everything. I can't find it.
That sounds like Brad. Where is this?
I can't find anything. And she gets aggravated with me. I'm like, I'm almost timid. Now I'm like, okay, I gotta find this. Honey, where's this? She goes, it's in that cabinet. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and I look in there and I still can't find it because it's got so fast.
Yeah.
Organized.
I'm sorry if all you guys can hear is kids. I don't know how much. Can you guys hear kids a lot?
I can hear you too.
Okay, good.
And I really hear Chris when she goes.
Okay, I do have to say, we're traveling with two German shepherds, 2 guinea pigs, and a bearded dragon, and then 2 kids. The calmest things that we have are the 2 guinea pigs and the bearded dragon.
Yeah, they can stay. The rest of them got to go.
Faye is a 10-month-old German shepherd, and I don't know how she finds the mud pits. Do y'all have issues with like that with your dogs, where they just go find the mud pits?
You got to think Chris video.
We don't let them off the leash as much.
Priscilla,
You will when you go to the harvest service. because you're out in the country and it's an open field and they closed down. Like yesterday, they closed down at 4:00 and there was nobody there. And then it thunderstormed and rained like crazy. And you're in an open field, like literally a cornfield right there. And the dog goes out there and just goes crazy. Yeah.
Rolls in the water, rolls in the mud. The female, of course. The male was sitting there going, "You're an idiot."
Really, our
I
experience
would've
with
thought
dogs
it
is
was-
totally the other way around. We don't have males anymore, just females, because the few males we had
They
were
were so stupid.
yeah, they
They
weren't
were
very
big
smart.
piles of stupid.
Hey, Aaron,
Ooh.
Cat and Knees, how you guys doing?
I don't see anybody commenting. I used to see people commenting on here. I don't see them commenting.
Brad's screaming it,
anymore.
probably. Are you screaming in the
You
comments?
can't see the comments.
Oh,
on
wait. I see. I'm on private chat. There it is.
There's a few of them in there. So,
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at you.
actually,
You
let's talk
look
about harvest toast and
That's
boondocking.
awesome.
Do what now?
Harvest toast and boondocking. So, we haven't done harvest toast. We've done some boondocking, but most of our boondocking has been when we're traveling to a destination, just stopping for a night somewhere, not nice BLM property or
Even sleep.
not state park things or anything like that.
Bad experience.
We did find a really cool one at Fantastic Caverns we just went to, where they basically locked us in the parking lot and we stayed there. They may be on Harvest Toast. I'm not sure. We didn't check, but we had never used Harvest Toast, even though we have a subscription for another couple months. Because when we looked into
Jaden,
the
stop,
guidelines, it
please.
says 24 hours notice, and we never know where we're going to
They
be.
say that, but we haven't done the 24 hours notice at one time. And we've stayed 5 times on this
Yep.
trip.
Yep.
So half of our nights have been at Harvest Oak on this trip.
Yeah.
And what
And
was
you said you just called an hour or two before and said, "Hey,
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
looked it up as I'm driving. I mean, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And I call them. Not when I'm driving. We're stopped at a rest area. And I call them up, and they're like, yeah, come on. We close it, whatever. And we'll get there. And the kids take the dogs, and Tina and I go to the wine tasting and buy 4 or 5 bottles of wine.
Well, now last night, the bonus was nowadays that like a couple of places have allowed you to call ahead and they say, do you want a basket if you're going to be there late or whatever?
Yeah.
So you go ahead and order a little basket of whatever and say you miss the wine tasting, but you're kind of giving them a little bit of something, but you get a basket of cheese and fruits and, you may have had your
Yeah.
wine from another place or beer or whatever, but it was really nice.
like last
And we
night.
met a lot of people. Just kind of FYI, we met a couple,
Yeah, I told them already.
4 couples, and there's a couple of places. Boondockers Welcome. I
Yep.
heard it's a fantastic site, and a lot of times they say that it's 24 hours or 2 or 3 days, but a lot of times if you're good tenants, so to speak, or boondockers, they'll ask you to stay.
Yeah, there's some of them. There's some of
Like
them.
we
were asked.
we
to
were
stay.
asked to stay.
Like, you can stay a couple more days.
Yeah.
Probably
Is that Harvest Toast?
$100 the first night.
Is that Harvest Toast or Boondockers? Well,
Harvest Host. But we've heard fantastic things about they. In fact, we like Harvest Host so much. These people were like, "Oh, you need to try Boondockers Welcome too." And then the other thing is if you have kids and you are full time, there's a neat program out there. Membership is minimal, and it's called Full Timers.
Full-time family RV. or
Full-time
something.
family RV, and they have like special events that they hook up, like the balloon festival in New Mexico, and so we're learning this stuff. It's cool.
We hadn't joined them.
We haven't joined them,
No.
but anyway, it's just options if you're like us and you're
Well,
full-time.
because they also have, a lot of families that homeschool because they're on the road.
Yeah,
And then the kids kind of all get together and play too.
and our kids like hooked up with their kids last night, and in fact, they're the ones that introduced the kids are the ones that introduced the parents because the parents were too busy hooking up and
Yeah.
Yeah, we had when we were in Zion, East Zion RV Park for 2 days. The kids made some friends with the people a couple sites over, and then when we get here, as soon as we get here, they're making friends with the neighbors, and that's what you hear all the noise. They're playing and running around, and doing all kinds of stuff and getting ready for s'mores next door. So it's fantastic.
But how these are memories. The kids will never forget this.
Weston, you want to show them your pig?
Now, Mark mentioned something else. He
Show
mentioned
them your pig?
show them my what? Oh,
Not you.
Weston bought pigs with his own money today.
You want to show them your pigs? Right here.
He's gonna show off his pigs.
All those kids that come looking for the back of this thing now. I didn't say nothing. Didn't say nothing to nobody, but I know that's exactly what they're looking for.
Are they? Okay.
There's one. And the other one, I think they're exact. And he wanted two of them, but they're the exact same pig. He needed two of them.
That's beautiful. They're beautiful.
Good job. That's our 3-year-old. He's the wild card on this trip.
They look tasty.
Totally changed it up. Yeah.
One of them's name is Dinner.
I had BLTs for dinner the last 2 days.
Marshall and Nene. Okay.
So what I was going to bring up is you mentioned you got some storms coming in.
Yeah.
And so sticks and bricks in your storm, you go into your basement or your storm cellar or whatever like that. We've been through a couple, one for sure that was pretty nasty. What are you guys expecting in the next few hours?
I'm going to show you. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're going to do because that's heading here. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see the blue dot is us.
You're right at the what do they call that? What's that cloud?
Yeah, the hook.
The hook.
The hook.
Yeah.
We're at the I used to chase tornadoes, so that location
Here it is in
the
motion.
storm. It's not going to be pretty.
It might miss us, but I doubt it because
You
look,
got another one coming.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Look like it's yeah.
I think we might have an interesting evening. We might just cuddle up in the sack and get naked.
The first place to go.
Well, no, the first place. In fact, I told him, I'm like, get your tail down there and ask the office. But I had already visited the washer and dryer facility, and the best place to do it, the water, the laundry, and then the bathrooms and showers are right there, and that there's no windows. So
Just flying concrete blocks when it comes
flying
apart.
concrete blocks when it comes apart. But
You know.
I don't know what size it is, but
I've lived 50 years.
Oh, jeez.
We actually had one. We've been through a few, but there was really one that stands out. Yeah, the one in Kansas, and we came to Kansas.
Yeah, that was.
It came through like at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Bed, just like okay.
And there were
was
times
scary.
where
was it windy?
It
very,
was
yeah, very.
windy and the rain and the lightning, and it was just
looked like a hurricane
shaking.
outside. And,
You could just see boom, 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 and we're just cuddled in bed together, like, okay,
we had
this is how I'm gonna go.
We had left
Riley's
the
in the-
expedition, but I tell you, there's a few times it rocked pretty good. It rocked the
Yeah, it was
trailer
still
a few,
it
really
was still
good. I was
attached.
thinking we're gonna be on our side here pretty soon, but
Well, Briley's changed beds. Riley doesn't want the loft anymore because it's up at the ceiling.
So we're at the KOA in Waterloo, Iowa right now, and it is a fantastic setup. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a fishing pond, a swimming hole, and all this stuff, and the big water park. But we have people that are right down the hill from us, 100 yards from us, and it's a whole family, and they're in tents.
They got toddlers. They're intense.
And if I was in a tent, and this was
Oh my
coming, I'd be in the Marriott about right now.
Yeah, they are. Little
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a couple. There's a tent right there.
and Aaron says he's in Iowa now. And I'm not sure if he's supposed to get any weather because that's where you guys are at in Iowa. He's in Amana, Iowa. I don't think it's too awful far from Waterloo. So he's been getting some of those storms as well. But he also had a tornado when he was staying in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, not too long ago.
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron says you guys are about 2 hours north of them right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so that to me is one of the probably the
Guess we should get
most
some walkie-talkies.
uneasy parts of
Yeah.
being in these units because they're not going to withstand tornado, hurricane type weather.
James?
Well, and I'll be honest with you. I was talking to some elderly people that are across the street, Steve and Linda Drews, and they had friends and she was the one that said, if you're going to get anything, get a weather radio. Because I'm like, oh, we got our cell phones. She said, no, a weather radio. She said, because we had friends staying in an RV site that the tornado came through and tore down all the cell towers, and it wiped out the campground's cell service. So they had no warning.
Right.
And so that was one. It's a $25 investment. You can get it with NOAA and all that stuff, but that was the one thing that I got. So,
and it's over the air. Yeah, get a NOAA radio. That's what James Catney says here. James also asked you guys, or asked a question generally about Harvest Host around. Are there any specifically for couples or older people? I know you guys stayed at some wineries. I've heard a lot of distilleries and wineries, and I'm an older person and I like distilleries and wineries. But are there other? Have you seen some other places on Harvest Host that would be, maybe couple friendly or non-drinking friendly, that type of stuff?
They said farms. There's a ton
there's farms.
tons of farms. There's tons of ranches. There's tons
Well,
of
we're staying in one next week.
horse camps or horse ranches. There's
Yeah,
tons
we
of
stayed
them.
at a horse park.
Yeah.
Next week we're staying at where's that at? In South Dakota. It's an old antique automobile museum thing, and they're on Harvest Host. And that'll be cool.
Yeah, there's tons of them. You just kind of have to pick and choose if you don't want to stay at a winery or a distillery or something like that. But I've seen tons of them on Harvest Host, that like ranches and farms and horse, and some of these like in Alabama and Kentucky and all those places, where racehorses are huge. I know that there were a couple of places in Illinois too, because there's a big racetrack in Illinois, and you can stay on their land. And so if you like horse racing and stuff like that, that's cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I know. I think a lot of businesses that have large parking lots, especially if they close overnight, they're welcoming, I think, in many cases. They're not on Harvest Host. If you just show up or call, you're probably not going to have a problem. So that's what we've experienced so far.
And it keeps you away from the Walmarts and the Cabela's and those like city parking lot. You know what I mean? It kind of just keeps you kind of hidden in the back country, and it's really cool.
Yeah, we definitely, when we stopped at Fantastic Caverns, we stopped there and they closed at 8. We got there about 8:30, and we saw that they had gates on their parking lot. And I basically told Chris, I said, we're not leaving because this road to get in there was one of the narrowest, curviest roads that I've had the RV on. And it wasn't just right off the interstate. It was 6-7 miles back in there.
Where?
Fantastic Caverns.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it was only, 40 minutes before dark. And so I pulled in there. There was still some cars, I guess, that were wrapping up their tour, because the last tour I think is 8. So they close at 8. But if you get in there and you want to take a tour at 8, they'll take you on the tour. And so a couple of vehicles down in the staff parking lot. So we just went in and put the slides out. The kids were out playing. We brought them in to have some dinner or whatever. And I saw everybody leave, and there was like one staff car, and he leaves, and I'm like, yes. Well, and all of a sudden he comes back, right? He comes back and he pulls around. And he pulls up to the door, and I opened the door, and I went out, and I said, we heard we could stay here. We're going to the tour tomorrow. And he's like, oh, no problem. I just want to let you know we're going to lock you in. So if you wanted to leave overnight, you're not leaving. And so they locked us in, but it was all the parking lot lights stay on all night. And so they also had a pavilion outside that had one of their Jeeps that's like there for taking picture purposes. And the kids played for like 90 minutes down here at this pavilion, just sat down there playing on the Jeep, and they had the run of the place. So we took the dogs out. And so to me, that was one of the best boondocking experience, because like you say, you're not around a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's the way all the Harvest Hosts have been.
Yeah, that
Every
we've
one of them.
experienced.
Yeah.
And there's huge fields, and the dogs just go run. They're not invading people's spaces, but it allows them to get that energy and that exercise out, including the kids, you know. But yeah,
That's
I
been good.
agree. It's been good.
I just got to say, Brad, when we do actually catch up on the road, four of us, I bought something just for you and I,
Okay.
and it's Abe Lincoln's whiskey recipe, and it's called Abe Lincoln
Right.
115 proof bourbon.
Nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, it'll be a good night.
That sounds like one of those dare things.
Right. Tina, do you have your phone with you?
Not with me. No.
Oh, come here, Faith.
Do you have your phone?
Come here.
Yeah, check your messages.
Come here. Come here. Here's Faith. Can everybody see Faith?
Oh,
Hi, Faith.
You hot mess. You gonna take him over there?
Come here, Jack. Come here,
Okay,
Jack.
let him go potty before it
Come here.
starts thunderstorming.
Come here.
so we haven't had kids with us through our experience, except for the grandkids. We had the grandkids for three or 4 weeks last year.
He's like, let me go. Let me go.
Aaron says hi, Chris.
Hi, Aaron.
And then we're having this year for 6 weeks, but most of the time it's just been us. You guys, the kids are going to be with you the whole time. So what's their thoughts 10 days
What's up,
in?
Angie? Oh, they love it.
What's whose fault? Who's
Kids.
the kids?
Yeah.
Oh, they've completely gone berserk. They don't. They think there's no rules. It's like we're in the
No,
Wild
they
Wild
love
West.
it.
They're outlaws.
They love it.
Yeah, no,
They've been really good with the dogs, and
they
but-
get bored. You know, they have gotten bored a couple of times, but then we come to a place like this and they're all jacked up. You know, I mean, there's so much to do here.
Yeah.
Right.
well, and I think that the adjustment has been they've always been entertained back home.
We'll bring all
They
them.
were constantly entertained back home, and so that's been the huge adjustment is not
missing friends?
constantly entertained. You know, you go enjoy.
Did they
Kids behind.
complain about missing friends or anything like that?
No.
No.
Good.
I've
That's
met
good.
so many kids on the road that it makes up for it, you know?
That's true. That's what ours are running around here with friends. I think for some reason we're connected to Facebook too. We've got some people watching on Facebook, and I can tell by the comment there. It's not telling me who it is. It just says Facebook user. But I think that's our son-in-law Austin and the baby. And the babies are moving around, so they've got friends here. They're running around having a great time. I think Jake waved hi.
I'm going to go get laundry before.
And tomorrow, I think I said this, but since Austin's on here, you might not be aware.
Are we done with it now?
No, I'm
To a RV tour in Bryce Canyon, so that should be fun. ATV tour. So off-road vehicle tour in Bryce Canyon here. So that should be fun.
Sorry, Chris. Tina had to go get the last load of laundry, so all you got to do is look at me and drool.
Dang it. I better put my shades on so you can't see where I'm looking. There you go.
So I'm not sure why there's a brick wall showing up on there.
I have no idea because there's no brick wall anywhere here.
That's hilarious. No,
I thought
she
you were
just pulled
faking
one
us. I thought you were like in your driveway with your brick house behind you, and
No,
out.
see?
The dog's out.
that is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is
I don't know
weird.
where that brick wall's coming in at. It is there, though, in the corner. Look
What
at that.
the heck?
What is that? Where is that coming from?
That's the storm coming.
Yeah. It's saying, go get her.
Terrible universe.
That's what it's gonna look like. What
That
in
is
the
funny.
world? Cool.
No idea.
Oh, I'm gonna
No,
beat-
we're having a blast.
it's not
it's,
the kids, it's the dog.
What are the dogs doing? Barking now?
You can't hear the dog?
Well, we're having a great time. The grandkids are wearing us out. We finished the Route 66 portion. Now we're in the canyons. Bryce Canyon is going to be fun tomorrow. Up until 2 nights ago, we had traveled it every day, and so it's nice stopping. I know you guys are. You've stopped for a couple of days, but you got a nice 5-day break now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're here till Friday.
And so Chris and I were just talking about. I mean, there's a lot of people that. I mean, they move around a lot, and we do it whenever we're on our way to a destination. But when we get to our destination, I like 2 weeks to a month. 2 weeks to a month in one area, I think is a great approach to getting to see that area and getting to see everything in that area. Get to settle for a while before you move again. Don't you think 2 weeks to a month is a good time range?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about? You're about done, aren't you?
Chris is ready to ship them back now. Hey, Greyhound, one-way shipping on Greyhound is like $69. You just got to make sure the box has holes in it, Chris.
I'm just, gosh.
So you had a tire issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when was that? That was 2 days ago. Yeah. Two mornings ago, I get up and I check the tires religious just because I want to make sure that they're that's the right pressure. So I get up and I test them all, and they're all at 110, except for one, and it's down to like 75. And I'm like, well, that's weird. So I air it up to 110, and I finished getting everything ready, disconnecting the sewer, the water, and all that. We're ready to go, and I check it again, and it's down to 90. So in an hour's time or 30 minutes time, whatever, it had gone from 110 to 90. So yeah. Fortunately, I have a cell phone, and I just typed in where I was at and said, "Where's the tire store?" And called them up, and they said, "Yeah, bring it on in." And that was kind of interesting. I wish we should have got a video of that. We got to get better at this because there's been like 2 instances now with the one thing with the sewer hose.
Nobody wants to see that.
And then the tire thing. But we were in Seymour. Where were we? Seymour, Illinois, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Seymour, Indiana. Sorry, and called them up, and what it was a valve stem was loose because these are metal valve stems that screw on. They just tightened it down. It was a $5 fix, and we were on our way. But no issues whatsoever there. And yeah, I agree. TPMS is next on my list of purchases.
Yeah, we had it on our list too, and then we just upgraded to a Class A instead.
Yeah.
But we only had one. Well, actually, we had 2 tire issues. One was self-induced. I hit a curb somewhere in Texas. We went to a Brahms for a shake. When I was pulling out, I cut too sharp and hit a culvert. Not just a curb, but one of those rain culverts.
Yeah. In Texas, they're big.
Popped the tire. As soon as I hit it, she's like, shh, you could hear it, all the air coming out. So it set us back. I changed the tire.
Weston,
maybe a couple hours, and then we went and got a new tire the next day.
Weston
I think.
just lifted up the lid of the dog poop station. He lifted up the lid of the garbage can, looked in there, and went.
He should have been with me whenever I had the donut on and I put the black can on. There was so much pressure that it shot up in the air.
Oh God! Well, have you heard of people where it shot up
the roof?
The roof?
Out the roof vent?
Well, yeah, so
because when you flush.
God Almighty!
They forgot.
They forget and they walk away and they let it run and it fills up and goes right out the roof.
Out the roof.
Huh? Yeah. So actually, our second tire issue, and then I'm going to tell you another funny story about kids in the storm.
Stay right here.
But the other tire issue we had, we woke up and Chris noticed that one of our tires was low, kind of what you just experienced.
Yeah.
And we found a place nearby and we drove there. The guy got us plugged in and changed our tire. It had a hole in it or something. Right? Yeah. We just got a new tire. But yeah, valve stem. Hopefully, did they charge you much for that, or they just like enjoyed your way?
$5.
$5. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They pulled the tire off. They dunked it, found the leak, and said, "Yeah, it's just the valve stem." They tightened it up, made sure it was quit leaking, and they put it back on, and we were on our way.
Awesome. Now to the black tank thing. So I've had 2 issues, but they weren't as horrible. They weren't as bad as yours. My issue, I did the same thing twice. What I did is I put my sewer cap back on. This was one time was in the travel trailer, and once was the first time we took this thing out. And so I put the cap back on, but I forgot to close the black tank thing. And then we go traveling down the road, and we have to go a couple of times when we're traveling. So we just go as we're traveling in our unit rather than going into a bathroom or whatever. And so then I get there and I go out to hook up and I see the valve open.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, I know that there's some stuff in there, right? And so the first time that I did it, I didn't do anything. I'm just like, okay, we're gonna have to figure this out. I don't want to get to an RV park and be around people. So we went a few hours later. We went to a rest area and we pulled over to the edge. And I was just gonna open it up because it's only gonna be a little bit. It's not gonna be a ton because there's just that gap between when I closed it, however much in the pipe, right? And so I opened that, and evidently, it had dripped out a little bit along the way, so there was really nothing in there. The second time I did it, this one actually comes straight down in the compartment. It comes through a hole in the Class A. And so I put the hose underneath there and took the cap off, and it was almost spill free. So I didn't have the major mess cleanup that you had each time that I did that.
Oh, I guarantee you. Well, okay. So I think I told y'all in the green room before we came live. So we're in Tennessee. It's our first time. We left the house on a Friday. We drove 160 miles. We pulled in, and okay, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it. I've never done this before, and I went, "This can't be that. I mean, it can't be that hard." So I just ran my sewers, the lines, and in Tennessee it says it's state law. You have to use one of them donuts. It's a little black rubber thing. If you don't know what that is, and I'm looking at it, and this PVC pipe has threads in it. I take the threaded top off. I'm like, okay, I have the thing that threads in there. But it says state laws of donuts. So I put the donut on there because I don't want to get busted my first day out. I set it on there, and everything looks good. I double check everything, and I pull the black tank lever, and the thing goes, bloop. It just, 20 gallons of poop water goes everywhere.
So it's like you struck oil coming out of the.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I jumped, I dove underneath the RV to close the gate. And then I had a mess to clean up. So I'm looking around, making sure nobody saw it. And then I got the freshwater hose and I'm cleaning it off. I mean, how clean can you get 20 gallons of poop water out? I don't know. I probably rinsed it with 100 gallons of fresh water. And I took the donut and threw it back in the thing in case I need it later. I hadn't given up on it. I'm sure there'll be a time when you do need one, but for the life of me, I can't figure out where that will be.
Yeah, I've never had to use one.
Yeah.
So here's my funny kid poop story. So since the grandkids have been with us this year, yeah, they a couple of them, Jaden and Landon especially, are intrigued. When are you going to dump? Are you doing the poop and pee? They ask, right? I'm like, no, I'm just doing the gray water. Well, today I had to do poop and pee this morning, so they come over there to watch, and I've got one of these clear elbows,
gosh.
right? The clear elbow that goes into the thing, and so they're standing there watching, and it's going, and Jaden's standing there.
I don't do it right.
And I said, kind of gross, isn't it? And she goes, it's kind of gross, but it's also satisfying.
I said that.
It's kind of satisfying. I don't know why watching poop go through that thing down is satisfying, but evidently Chris said Landon said almost the same exact statement when she was dumping at one point. So I guess kids, for some reason, it's satisfying to kids to watch the poop go down there.
I don't know that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys are here for 5 days, and then where are you off to?
Then we're to Mitchell, South Dakota, and then we're to Sturgis, Black Hills, and we're going to spend the next week in the Black Hills. And actually, probably 10 days in the Black Hills.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And do you already are you pre-setting up kind of your stays, or you just figure it out a few days before you're going to go and say, okay, we're going here?
Yeah.
And you make your bookings.
Yeah, we're actually staying at a I'm trying to remember the name of it now. Let me see if I can look it up. It's outside of Wall, South Dakota, which is about a 45-minute drive from what's it called? Anyway, there's a boondocking place there, and let me pull it up because I don't want to lead anybody astray. God almighty, I got so many apps I can't figure out what one I found it on. Okay, Wall. So the people actually that we met last night recommended it, and it's a boondocking place, and it's called Nomad View Dispersed Campground. It's free, and it sits on the edge of a continental rift, kind of, and it's like 1,000 foot down, where you're out on this plateau, and it's on Camp Indium, I think it's called. Anyway, we're going to try that for 4 or 5 days, and then we'll probably go to a campground somewhere in there, in that area.
Aaron's saying that you should go to Custer State Park.
Custer State Park.
You
Oh,
must
yeah,
go.
down south.
Commanding you to go. You must go to Custer State Park.
Yeah.
So before we came on, you said you went to get your phone to remember all the cool things you've done. I don't think you've had a chance to tell us about that. Why don't you tell us some of the cool things you've done so far?
Well, so I didn't get to do them. The kids. So when we were in, where were we? Jeez. Okay, so when we were at the Boundary Oak Distillery in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, is about 20 miles from Lincoln's birthplace, and the kids and Tina went and saw all of that and the history and all that stuff. I had to work, but the I think it's just the Harvest House, just the facilities that we've been able to stay at, and the welcoming, and then having the whole place to yourself after they close down. It's just a different experience than in a campground, because like I said, our dogs don't run off. I mean, they'll stay within 20 feet of me no matter what.
Unless there's a mud hole.
Unless there's a mud hole, and then Faith will go jump in it, and swim and roll around. Go ask Mom. We haven't eaten dinner yet. The kids are like, "When are we eating dinner? We're hungry."
Hi.
Hi, Briley.
Riley, say hi.
Hi. I'm walking Jack right now.
Nice.
But no, just the people that you meet, and I just find it fascinating that you can just pull in someplace, and the settings at some of these wineries, they're all out in the country, and they're just beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. You're there, and they just, I don't know. And some of them have power. Some of them have power and water.
Really?
Some of them don't have anything, but like last night, they didn't have anything, but we have a generator, and we're pretty self-sufficient with regard to that. But like 2 of the wineries had power and water available.
And were there other RVers there every time you went, or was it
No, only twice at 2 wineries. Last night was the busiest. There was 4 of us, but it was cool because we all kind of got it. We all got there at about the same time, and we went in and checked in and did the wine tasting, and then we sat around and we had a campfire, and we just kind of talked and drank a bottle of wine and relaxed, and it was really nice. It was really cool.
That's cool. And I see our neighbors got our fire going for our s'mores here just a few minutes. So we'll wrap up here in a couple of minutes. But I guess our update on our travels, we're here tomorrow, and then we check out on Tuesday, and we continue to drive up to Washington. So we're probably going to stop. Did you figure out where we're going to stop? We're going to try Harvest Host or something? Or no?
Oh, yeah. I think in Provo.
Yeah, somewhere either Provo, Ogden, Salt Lake, somewhere in there. I think she's looking at some Harvest Host to possibly stop there. We don't have a whole lot of activities planned, because right now it's just get there, because our daughters are actually flying in. One of them is driving out there, and they'll be there ahead of us. Jessica from Henry Does It. They were with us a couple days ago, and now they've taken off because they're traveling with a 1-year-old. So they decided the board drive-in was not good, so they're trying to get there. But then Janelle and Janessa are flying in on Friday, so we're going to try to get there this next Friday. So we leave on Tuesday. We'll have 3 or 4 days of driving to get to Washington. We may stop at Twin Falls, Shoshone Falls, maybe the ice caves in Shoshone area there in Idaho, but we don't really have anything planned. We're just going to kind of wing it like normal.
When are y'all planning on leaving Washington? Do you know yet? I know your Uncle Bob or somebody passed away.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, somewhere around July 15th or something like that. Probably somewhere around July 15th.
Hey.
And heading back, trying to not overdo it on the way back because, I mean, the kids have been doing really well, but the longer travel days are the hardest on us. So we'll probably try to travel, 3 to 4 or 5 hours a day max.
Are you going to come across I-90?
We're thinking about taking the northern route this time because we're taking I-70 so much.
We're going to go through Montana.
Well, if you do, let us know. Or let's, we'll stay in touch, obviously, but let's try to hook up somewhere. That'll be fun.
For sure.
I think our neighbor is on here, if that's correct, Elisa.
Yeah, she said, I have your grandkids.
Hopefully there's not a ransom. Yeah, they've been playing all day, so we got here right around noon, and they've got a pop-up. They've got a pop-up, and their grandkids were on their bed, and they had the window off on the pop-up, and they were talking back and forth with our grandkids, and then we hung out at the pool, and they played at the pool, and then they've been running around here, and we're getting ready to have s'mores. So like you say, it's the people you meet, the memories you make along the way. That's one of the coolest part of this thing.
Yeah. They're in Bryce Canyon.
Oh, are they?
Bryce Canyon is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right, you have anything else?
You can't really see it. It was lightning earlier. I don't know if it's going to.
That's your storm coming? Well, give us an
Where are
update.
they in?
Yeah, you see the lightning?
Iowa?
Yeah.
No, they're in
Near Waterloo, Iowa.
Illinois.
Iowa. We're in Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. Ooh.
Yeah.
Waterloo, Iowa, yeah.
There's a big storm.
Well, hopefully it misses you guys and doesn't get to where it's uncomfortable for you. Jaden, Landon, Peyton, and Jack say hi. Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right. We'll let y'all go. We'll let everybody go.
So we got to bring the things for s'mores over to our neighbors. The fire's we're gonna end the night with some nice s'mores and then get on the road. So we look forward to you guys kicking off your YouTube channel and then maybe doing a meetup between our channels at some point. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Or we could just join to yours.
Hey, whatever.
Come over here, Benjamin.
Come over here.
Oh, there
he
you
is.
go.
This is Weston. Our grandma calls him Benjamin.
Grandma calls him Benji.
That's our neighbor.
Our neighbors have realized we're on live, so
Yeah.
they're like, ah.
They signed up. They became a new subscriber, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You will love
Fun.
driving the passes on I-90. We did that a year ago. Pucker Power or White Knuckle
Power.
Pucker. Yeah.
Right. You're right about the business cards. I can't tell you how many people have given us their cards.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you guys have to get yours. We had business cards, but we found we didn't hand those out as much, and we just got some stickers. And we've been better about handing the stickers out because the kids meet the kids, and we're just say, hey, give your friends stickers, right? So yeah, it's getting dark. You guys are starting to really be.
Aaron said it's getting dark there too.
Oh yeah. Well, Aaron's only 2 hours south of where they're at.
Yeah.
Or maybe he said north.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to miss us. I think we're going to get hammered tonight. If the trailers are rocking, don't come a knocking.
In fact, I would probably.
Well, that's not the kind of rocking.
The tornadoes coming.
This isn't the kind of knocking that you'd want.
Not the kind of rocking I was hoping for.
Let me see if I can get a better picture.
Well, we're about ready to wrap up.
He's gonna dang.
You have to give everybody a tour of your unit. A lot of people ask for your tour of your unit. Wow.
That's looking not nice.
No.
Well, maybe the worst of it will miss you.
It could be interesting tonight.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for coming in. Totally dark there in New York. Yeah. So we're actually, we still got another hour and a half of light here in Utah, most likely.
Yeah.
We all need to go enjoy some s'mores.
Yeah.
We're gonna, but
Wow, that's a nice
keep us posted.
flare.
We like seeing your Facebook posts so we can keep track, and also appreciate you liking and commenting on our post too. So that's awesome to know somebody's following along as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Did you post? I haven't checked Facebook today. Did you post pictures of
I
Zion?
don't think you got anything on today. Did you?
I don't even know what day I'm on anymore. Oh,
Hi, sweetie.
All right, we got to go feed our kids before they start eating the trailer.
all
All right, guys, take care.
Take care. Thanks, everybody, for everything.
Yeah.
Good night, all.
Good
night.
night.
Okay. Put her in the trailer.